to the he's out. Well, you know what we're talking about. Talking about, cause about to go down. About to go down. And that's why you're here, so let's get to it. Pretty on beat. It's pretty. Pretty on beat. And the he's out. It's allegedly pretty on beat. Now that you do it perfectly pretty. Alright, let's get into it. Lovely pretty on me. Gang. We know what you came for. What you came for. That's why you walk through the door. You walk through the door. Let's get to the party on me. Hello, y'all. Hey, what's up, my pretties? What's up, my lovelies? How you doing? How you feeling? Well, now that I know you're doing pretty lovely, let's get into this pretty on me. Everything I'm speaking about is allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so let's get into this. So, if you don't know, a while back, De'Ara and her fans, or her De'Ara's fans, let me say De'Ara's fans were saying that Quee and Ken was copying De'Ara so much they even moved into her same complex neighborhood, so forth, so on, and stuff like that, which is to me coincidental, and to me I feel like they weren't even really looking for De'Ara like that, but I do feel like um they were fans of the era, but after all this, I don't think they feel the same as they once did. And I really don't think the era cares if she felt the way she felt. And first I was like, where did this come from? But people were just swearing up and down that Queen Ken was following everything the era did. To be honest, it definitely doesn't give the era and Ken to me at all because they was mostly pranking each other, prank wars, pranking this, and like they were totally different to me. And I said that on a previous video, and I just said what I said. However, Quee and Ken, they're a different dynamic. They're just like a couple. They just talk. They try trends and stuff. And I guess the Aaron Ken did that too. But I don't care. It just never gave me that. So if you don't know, Ken and Quee have been going on a lot of trips lately, and luckily they were able to put that to the side and not let it stop them. They be living their best lives regardless. And recently, Ken proposed to Quee Renee, in the Maldives, which is gorgeous, beautiful. Congratulations to them. I'm so happy for them because I know ultimately that's what she wanted and she genuinely cares for Ken. And I feel like, he's grown to like really love and care for her over the years and enough for him to propose. So that's what it is. And I never got the same vibe, sadly enough, that I got from Queen and Ken. Like I really feel like they just genuinely just like like each other and they're not trying to use each other, if that makes sense. And I know that's crazy, but I do feel like in some instances that one of the parties in the De'Ara and Ken situation was using the other to an extent, if that makes sense. And I'm not gonna really go into the details of who, what, and when and where, but most times when that situation kind of stuff happens, that's the person who leaves the and ends the situation. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying that's what happened in that situation, but in most cases, that's what happens. Okay. Um, and true enough, De'Ara and Ken, dang, you get off my timeline. Did propose and have like engagement. I think they were engaged for several years. Like, was it 9 or 10 years? Heck, I can't even keep up. But they really the last time, right before their big split, a year after that proposal or something, because I think they proposed several times. I'm not sure. Heck, I can't keep up. But and that was years ago since they've been together. But what I'm saying is, several like a year or two after that, they broke up, and people were surprised they would even think about building a house together, and so forth and so on. So I guess seeing the proposal, I guess that probably does trigger some wounds in a person that you were with for 10 years. Even though she did not end up marrying Ken. Speaking about the era, um,
I think this is different. I really feel like Qui and Ken know each other very well, and they're gonna probably get married, and just is what it is. I actually never felt like Ken and De'Ara were gonna get married. I just never felt that, but I'm sure people did, and it wasn't surprising they split, but I'm sure it was surprising to a lot of people, and yeah. And the crazy thing is, it appears that the era is not fully over there, and I guess she's reliving the relationship scars allegedly through their relationship, and that's why she kind of went off because recently she posted something about somebody copying her on her shirt. And it could have just been a shirt or it could have been a subliminal. I'm not sure. But it gave me the flashback of when people were saying that Qui Renee and Ken were copying her. And I can imagine how it feels to see somebody that you think is copying you and they're getting engaged just like you thought you were going to get engaged, and like you gotta relive that whole thing. And to be honest, I thought she was over the Ken and her situation. Like, I've been over that situation, but I guess when you're in it, it's not the it's not the same thing. um because you want that fairy tale, you want that dream wedding, and when you see somebody else with the name Ken in it, like, I guess you can have flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? Um, because to be honest, I don't think Ken. I think Ken is really his name, not Now in De'Ara and Ken, I don't think Ken was really his name. But I really feel like in Key, Renee, I think like his name was Kenneth or something, or I don't know. But the Ken and Qui, Renee, I really feel like his name is Ken. And even if it's not Ken, like, why would he have a fake name? So if that's the only reason why they're copying, like, that don't even make no sense. What that name was Bob and Tara? Like, would they still be copying if they have different names? Could that be a thing? I feel like they're saying they're copying because his name was Ken. And it just so happened that they moved in the same area. I would even guess where De'Ara would have stayed. Like, I wouldn't even guess that unless I really be stalkerish and watching videos. Now, if they had reached out to De'Ara several times before, then I can see why she would say, okay, stalkerish. But and they might have. They very much might could have. And but I don't really feel like they were copying. I just feel like they were just fanned out. But anyway, um the crazy thing is, I just really thought with the era having this new boo, unidentified boo that people are speculating is Jasmine for so many years, that she would have just gotten over the situation with Ken. But it's given that she has not, because she's still fixated on this couple that has the name Ken in it, and they recently got engaged. And if I had moved on and forgot about somebody, it would be no way that I'm gonna be following a couple who even reminds me of a situation that I don't want no more parts of. So the fact that she's reminiscing, the fact that she's so bothered by Queen Renee and Ken is given that she's still hurt. She may even need to do some counseling and maybe need to do some healing. And despite having a relationship allegedly, she's not moved on, and going into any new relationship with these past traumas and wounds is not good. So I can just tell she's on her healing journey still, and I do wish the best for her. And the best thing is to move on. At first, I was like, she should have been moved on, but I can imagine if you really, really like somebody, which I do feel like she did for Ken, and you have this fairy tale proposal, you spend years together. It's like it can be traumatic. It can be traumatic because it didn't work out. And especially when you're thinking like everything's fine and you're blindsided, think like we're gonna be together forever. But sometimes in the situations, both parties may not feel the same, and it just is what it is. It could be something you said, something you did, just growing apart, differences. It just can happen. But the fact that she's not fully over it is making me feel like she may not ever get over it. And how does this affect her future relationships? To be honest, and I think I may have said it before, um, I ain't gonna say that. I at first I was gonna say I saw more hope in her relationship with Ken than I do with Jazz. But to be honest, I do see a little smidget of more hope than with Ken and De'Ara. However, I don't see it lasting either. Like, I don't see it lasting either. However, she's been very, very set on keeping the public out of her relationship, public opinions out of her relationship. Even though I never gave my opinion on her previous relationship with her and Ken, but I definitely wasn't surprised when it ended. But I gave it after they ended, and I guess I've tried to give my opinion on her and Jazz, but due to the fact that she keeps herself private, I just give my opinion and keep moving. I don't feel like, to be honest, her and Ken lasted 10 years. I can't really see her and Jazz lasting that long. I don't. I feel like, when Jazz gets to a point of where she wants to be, then she might just do something else. Just kind of how she left her previous relationship and went to the D era allegedly. I do feel like, she kind of goes with the flow of opportunity, and wherever that flow leads her, she just goes. And I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, I feel like you do need to date people, you to see things, if you're compatible with people, and see where it goes. But maybe that's the reason why she's been saying she's single for so long. Maybe she thought that her and Ken could possibly get back together. But obviously, Ken has moved on. He has a new dog, he has a new boo. And I think the last thing he's thinking about is the era. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the other way around. And it's very sad. It's very unfortunate, and hopefully, Qui and Ken can go on and live their lives without being put in the spotlight of being copycatters because a relationship prior didn't work. Because if they're going to copycat, they're going to probably want to copycat a relationship that worked opposed to a relationship that didn't work. I'm sorry, that was funny to me. But anyway, I wish the era the best. She has a lot going for her. She's very successful. She's back on the scene. She took a break. And I do hope that things, can work out in her love life, because she does seem like a very nice woman, a very nice person, a boss, has a lot of things going for herself. Town. And so at the end of the day, it's like, that's all I'm gonna say on that situation. Y'all let me know how you feel about it, if the era's not fully moved on from Ken, so forth and so on. That's basically all I had to say for now. Ciao. I will say this though, just because a person decides to leave you doesn't mean that it's something wrong with you as a person individually or collectively. It just means that there was some disunification between the two parties and unequally yokeness between the two parties, and the party just felt more comfortable parting ways and moving on. And my heart does go out to her, because I mean, anytime you are that invested in something and you expect it to go a certain way when it doesn't, it's definitely shocking. It's definitely a heartfelt blow. And nobody, I won't wish that on nobody. And I do hope that she can move on and realize she's still worth it. She's still amazing. Yeah.
Now it's time to put the he's out. He's out. You know what we talking about. Talking about. Gotta lay the he's out. He's out. Gonna come right back for that new pack, impact video on my feed time, Lido. And that's a fact. Subscribe though, cause you won't regret it. And that's low key, hype beat. And you no. Stay, listen, stay blessed, and that's don't never stress. 13 gang, we out this thing.